Afternoon. Those that are joining us, we're just going to give everybody a few minutes to come on into the room. And whilst that's happening, I shall get my slides all organized. But you should be able to see myself and Yelena. So if you can, pop something in the chat, tell us that we're coming through nice and clear, and tell us where you are and what the weather's like with you or something like that to start the dialogue. But thank you for taking the time to join us today. So we are going to get everybody away by about 3:45. We're running this a bit later than normal because Yelena is joining us from North America for the session. So thank you for taking time out of your afternoon. We've got somebody here from Texas, which is great. And weather is typical English at the moment, wet and cold. It's very windy. Yes, typical English weather for those of you on this side of the Atlantic. So we are a minute in, so I think we're going to get going, Yelena. There'll be others join us as we kick off. So welcome everybody to our App Advisory Plus App of the Month webinar with G-Accon. I'm delighted that Yelena's with me today. We'll get Yelena to introduce herself in just a moment. I'm really looking forward to this session. If, like me, many of you will have been through or are going through that period of time where you think, wouldn't it be great to take our accounting data and present it in a really real life way to our clients, to give them real intelligence out of the data we hold, and what's the best way to do it? What are the tools that are available? Perhaps you're in that situation where you don't necessarily want to sign up to a product that ties you into X number of clients. So G-Accon have got a great solution that we hope will give you an alternative to that, and perhaps for some of the more complex, challenging issues that you have with your clients. So during the session today, chat box is there. Feel free to put comments in the chat. If you have questions, throw them in at any point during the course of the session. I'll keep an eye on those while Yelena is showing you some product stuff a bit later on, and we'll pick those up at the best opportunity. So do keep the questions coming in because it really brings the sessions to life. So in terms of introductions, those that don't know me, my name is Will Farnell. I'm founder of Farnell Clark, an accountancy firm here in the UK, and I'm also co-founder of App Advisory Plus, hence why we're here today. Yelena, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you are, before we get into the session.
Absolutely. So, Will, first of all, thank you so much for having us. So my name is Yelena. I'm a product owner, Jcon. So I have about 20 plus years of IT and marketing experience in financial services. And I am supporting Jcon. I'm doing customer support. It's day-to-day operations, marketing. So it's all me. So basically, we do have a lot of our existing customers on Jcon. They probably know and communicate this me, and I'm happy to see you guys here too. So yes, whether we're based on US as a company. Should I jump to the company? No,
we'll come to that in just a moment.
Let me hold on.
So it's all about you at the moment, all about you.
Thank you, Will.
So yes, I'll get you to introduce G-Accon and what you do in just a moment. But just so everyone knows what we're going to cover, I mean, obviously we put some messaging out around this. In no particular order, these are the things that I want to pick Yelena's brains on during the session today. So why it's important for us to have good quality data to drive the insights we deliver to clients, why custom dashboards, bespoke reporting, which are some of the sweet spots for G-Accon. What's the benefit of that rather than perhaps buying off the shelf or using reports within your Xero QBO solution? Why do clients want more, and what's the power of being able to custom build those things? We've already mentioned G-Accon provide a slightly different alternative for you here in terms of cost and the way they work, the way they price their services. So we're going to touch on that as we go through. Out of all of this, then ultimately what this is about is delivering greater value to our clients and new revenue to you as accountants and bookkeepers. So how can we use these tools to start to demonstrate to our clients what we can do with the data that we're collating for them. Elena is going to share some real examples of how firms that they're working with are utilizing dashboard and KPI reporting for their clients, as well as some of the other things that G-Accon helps you do in terms of data cleanup, consolidation, multi-currency consolidation, and some of those things that perhaps are a little trickier for you in some of the other alternative product options out there. And certainly we're going to give you an overview of G-Accon and how it works. And we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end. So that's what we're going to cover. So Yelena, who are G-Accon? Where did you start? How did you start? What solutions do you provide? How do you help accountants?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Bill. So we are a US-based company. So we are located in Michigan. And whoever says Colorado has snow, yes, Michigan has snow. Even now it's snowing. Yes, we know what is that. So let's talk about G-Accon. So Jcon, we have a set of the product. So basically Jcon as a nutshell is an accounting connector. So it's connect your spreadsheets, this your accounting source as a Xero, QuickBooks, FreshBooks. We do have extension, or I would say another product for Xero Practice Manager and Workflow Max, which can be useful for you guys. So what we done? We synchronize data in both directions, and majority of you knows between Google Spreadsheet and your source, Xero, QuickBooks, FreshBooks. So we are truly, really cloud and Google-based technology. This is how we stand for. So we, as you know, I have my teaching here. So what our application allow you, we automate your downloads and upload process. We create custom and standard reports for you. You can refresh them based on your schedule. You can use us as a source to create your dashboards, which I'm going to show you as a simple, very simple dashboard source. If you use Google Spreadsheet, absolutely Google Chart. And I'm going to show you how it looks like. And then I will show you more advanced solution. So you can absolutely nicely share reports that you created with your clients, your management. You can set up our product in your client's environment, and then help them to create custom reports, can help them to create any standard reports, downloads, as well as uploads. So let's talk about uploads. Here we try to focus on Xero and QuickBooks because it's most mature product for us, and we have plenty of uploads opportunity. And we know a lot of people, a lot of customers who come to us very much interesting in upload. And it's not only simple upload, they use us as a cleaning product. So you have invoices, you have bills, you have quotes, PO, and by end of the year, before tax season starts, you want to clean up your books. So a lot of our customers use us for cleaning. And I'm going to show you a small example how to do it. And what else? We are based on the templates, and this is key of our application, just because templates, it's a structure and the way how our application know what you're asking for us to do. So templates, it's a crucial. Template can be created, shared, give different roles for different team members. So it's our kind of new feature, already 1 year old feature. So this is pretty much G-Accon. So if you load us, we're sitting definitely in Google Workplace Marketplace. It's a new name for Marketplace for Google. And if you type G-Accon, you can see all our products there. So if you work mostly in Xero, we're available in the Google Marketplace as well as in Xero Marketplace. If you talk about QuickBooks, again, we're sitting in Google Marketplace and we're available through QuickBooks Marketplace. Yeah. So that's pretty much nutshell.
so that's brilliant. Thank you, Elena. And just in terms of the obvious question that jumps into me, and you and I have talked about it. We run Office 365, so we use Excel. So how do we still get access? How do we make sure that we can still use G-Accon, even though we're generally using Excel for most of the work we're doing? How do the two work, and does it rule me out because I'm an Excel user?
Yeah, we have this nice feature when you create automation process, when you download data in your spreadsheet, and through the automation process, we convert all your file in Microsoft Excel. So for people, for customers who is very attached to Microsoft technology. So we do that. It doesn't mean they can refresh, they can set up templates. No, it means the person who is the main person and handling reports, creating report, they still work in this Google spreadsheet, but they have ability to distribute these reports in the Excel format.
Yeah. And the second question, do I have to be a spreadsheet expert to use your product?
Absolutely not.
Right.
we try to do it as simple as possible. And yes, sometimes my clients not that good in technology, and we do series of webinars and one-on-one training. So we will not let you guys down for sure.
But the key point that I was kind of tongue in cheek trying to get to there is that you build templates, so we can grab a template. The kind of things that we want are already going to be there, and obviously you're going to show us how this works in products in a while. So so in terms of some of the specifics for accountants, and this is something that I kind of bang on about all the time, we've still got to get data. So we've still got to help our clients have good quality data in their bookkeeping systems to enable us to get the benefit out of this. So that's a given. During this webinar, we're kind of assuming that everyone realizes regular bookkeeping is the key to this. We're looking at the next stage. You've got that good quality bookkeeping, because you should be doing it yourself. But actually what we're talking about here is how do we take that data and how do we deliver new value to our clients? And it's a tough one to start, and I don't know whether there's other people on the call here that get attracted by shiny new things, and certainly I did for a very, very long time. And we thought as soon as we'd got all of our clients onto Xero, we said, great, we've got to go out and spend a load of money on reporting tools now. And we signed up to these all-you-can-eat deals, spending hundreds of pounds a month. And firstly, we didn't have the data quality, but B, you've still got to get your clients to engage with this stuff. And when we did that, it would have been great if there was a tool like Jcon that let us start to kind of take steps on this, find a sensible way of introducing it to our clients, show them the value of what their data holds, and build it out that way. So we're going to assume that everybody is on top of data. So in terms of G-Accon, the benefits of custom dashboards and being able to bespoke report, what feedback do you get from your users, Yelena, around what the benefit is to them of being able to perhaps produce a completely different set of reporting packs for each individual client, maybe?
Yeah. So the key of our application, automation, and another kind of turn or carry on this key, you can pull data for multiple entities, multiple organizations, and based on this data, which is refreshed based on your own business rules. So it can be daily, it can be hourly, it can be every 3-5 hours. Then you have consistent, accurate data, which is allow you to build another layer on top of this data. And this is how we call BI solution. And now we're going to show you Google Data Studio, just because we prefer it. It's a Google technology, but you can use any BI solution you're comfortable with. It can be Looker, it can be Talbot, it can be Microsoft Power BI. So the matter is, if you have data and the way we have different kind of representation of the data. For example, I'm going to show if it's profit and loss, you can have traditional layout, or we offer historical layout. So it's kind of open up all your data. When you look at the data, you will feel, oh my gosh, it's just mess, bunch of data. But when this raw data fed it in any BI solution, it will give you opportunity to build any dashboards you want, any graphs, any presentations. And you know, your customers, they like color, they like graphs, they like dashboards, they like color. They're not going to look each and every numbers. They need like totals.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I think probably one of the ways to do this, Elena, is if we dive in and out. So I mean, is that a good time for you to kind of pull your screen up and show us a little bit of kind of reporting?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you go for that. And whilst you're doing that, Andrew made a comment that Jcon was their prime reason for moving back to G Sheets, and the automation is a key part of that. So I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that. But you go with this bit.
I like that. So, all right. So you should be able to see my screen. So what I'm going to show you is, as you can see now, I generate, for people who are familiar, those are our reports. So this is traditional P&L for demo company, and you can see how it looks like. I create small tab just to show how it works. Some profit and loss turnover reports. It's again our template. Another profit and loss summary. So, and based on this small template, this is how it looks. And KPI dashboard, it's very simple way of representation using built-in Google chart structure. So it's right here in your spreadsheet. So you don't have to do anything. So now a little bit step up. So now I'm going to show you P&L report data in historical view. I'm going to dive a little bit in details. So this is my Xero. So now I connect it to Xero. When I go to update, modify, delete template, I'm going to pull the template and you will see my settings. So I want you to see the settings because I want to show the way how it's represented now in the spreadsheet. We call it historical layout. If you look and show this to customer, it doesn't really mean anything for them, right? Because it's set of data, raw data. I told you, Bill, right? It should work. Nice, it doesn't. All right, but this is in the P&L report, you have filter, which is called report layout. So you select historical layout. And after you select historical layout, this is how data look like. And I'm going to show you how I feed data to Data Studio. So this is how, if I click on, for example, one graph, this is revenue versus expenses. So I feed all my data, which is I generate in Jcon, and then I'm going to automate this data in the Data Google Studio. So if you can see all my crazy columns with kind of fed it or filled in this tool. And now it's a matter to pull what is your characteristic. So in this case, if I click revenue versus expenses, I want to show for, I think in this, I pick up 4 years, 3 years, yep. Couple of years. And you can see revenue versus expenses in the month and year. You can see on the bottom, this is 2021, 2022. And every time I refresh data, it will feed new set of data daily. P&L, we would like to have it daily. So make sure Xero has some limitation, right? So when you create your dashboard, you have dimension. So this is little bit small trick part, how you build Data Google Studio. So you pick up any field that you feel you need for this graph, and you have your metrics. And on top of this, as soon as I have plenty of data, you set filters. Filters is important because I have plenty of data and you want to filter only revenue and expenses. If you remember from chart of accounts, how you set up Xero, we have product type. So that will give you appropriate filter. But in the nutshell here, you pull all your data, all available data here. And then you have ability nicely to create summary, right? This is how much revenue you got for these time periods. This is how you got revenue this month. This is your expenses because you put all this data from P&L to the tool. So in that now, it's a really nice tool. I'm going to view that. And this is how it looks for your customers. It's colorful, it's movable. You have all this data. You click something and it comes to the place. So this is how people use us sometimes. So yep. What I can say, we do provide services to build this kind of dashboards, but at the same time, we do have a website. In our website, we have a set of experts who does that. So they're doing only dashboard solution. So you either can do it by yourself. It's straightforward. It's not that difficult. You try once, it will be perfectly work for you. You can ask us as a service, or you can find expert who can create a lot of dashboards for you. So those are our options. So.
Perfect. A few questions here. Let's just grab some of those, Yelena. So if you're consolidating 3 businesses from Xero, is it counted as one company for the pricing, or is it three companies if you're taking 3 companies and consolidating?
Okay, they have different tiers in the pricing, and the very first tier is the $30 per month. Is cover one user. One user means the person should have Google account and up to 5 entities.
Yeah.
So it's for everything. For Xero,
and that's about £22 a month for those in the UK.
Yes,
so it's like just over £4 per company.
Yeah. And then you will have group licenses. Group licenses will allow you to add extra users, right? If you have a lot of stuff to do. And then next year going up to 25 organization. And our next advisor is about 50 companies, and then you go unlimited. So we have enterprise people who has plenty of entities in Xero and QuickBooks, and they go to enterprise level and they manage by themselves.
Yeah,
so.
and just as a comparison for people that might have looked at unlimited licenses on other products, where does that price point sit for Xero Unlimited? Sorry, Elena, did you catch?
I don't have this information.
Right, okay, we'll find it.
For us, our prices, right?
Yeah, your product, yes.
So our price is $250 for enterprise license. Yes. I was thinking about Xero.
No, not asking you about your competitors. So about £175 a month for unlimited clients, just for those that are thinking on.
Yeah, it's a maximum. And again, it's per month, $250 per month. But if customer decided, okay, I want to go to annual license, so we usually offer 10 prices for 10 months for the 12 months periods. So basically you have there like 20% off, like automatically.
Yeah, great. And can you take the budget data out of Xero? Does the integration pull the budget data out of Xero into spreadsheets?
Yes, absolutely. So what we have, let me see if I have it here. I might not have it in the dashboard here, but for budget, what we have, when you enter the budget, if you're talking about Xero specifically and QuickBooks, we don't have opportunity for now to enter budget from the QuickBooks. So basically you start your budgeting still in your system, in Xero or QuickBooks. And then you have ability to pull 3 standard reports from your source to the Google spreadsheet, or raw data. So this raw data, again, will be raw data like you can see that in P&L, and this will allow you to build budget. And for customer kind of easiness, we provide some of reports which has budget as well as P&L, budgets versus actuals, budget variances. So it's something which can be again pulled to your dashboard solution, and it will allow you to build your budget dashboards. So this is budget managers who are familiar with Xero. This is how they call it. You create it there. You have budget summary, budget variances, and actuals. Variances you can do month by month. You can compare months. You can compare years. So it's how you set up your budget. Yes, and the same dashboards. Yep.
Great. So hopefully that answers your question there, Cindy. Right, there are more questions here, but I'm conscious we've got other things to cover as well. But one question on that dashboard you had there, Yelena, a moment ago, is that something that exists as a template, or is that something that people would need to build within Google Studio?
For now, we do have small trial application, which is Data Google Studio Direct Connector, but we're still working on this. But for now, it's there is no template, like the way how I build, there's no template. But as soon as you pull all your data here, it's not difficult to create template.
Okay, so there's 2 options. Either somebody can go on and you've got videos and stuff to show people how to do this
Yes.
themselves? Is it a service that you could provide if somebody says, could you build me
Yes.
this because I want to use this across all of my clients?
Yes.
You could
Yes.
build a dashboard for them like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or choose expert. We do have on our website our partners, experts, so they're very professionally building this kind of dashboards. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. So we've touched on reporting and dashboards. What other examples have you got of how firms you're working with are using G-Accon in different ways? I mean, I know we touched on data cleanup, we touched on consolidation and multi-currency. Where are people getting most value?
Yeah, I want to show you one example, cleaning data. And cleaning data involve downloading structure. It's like two steps of process. So you download first your structure from the source. Let's say this example, invoices. I want to show you how to create invoices, maybe update invoices. And then you create upload template, and then you push data from the Google Sheet to the source. So this example connected to QuickBooks. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a couple. Let me move this picture here. This is, if you go and do update, modify, delete template, I'm going to show you two templates. And for us, first, it's called queries. It's your download data. So basically, I put structure, and I'm going to show you how did I do that. So I try to select only needed attributes, which help me to create structure, and I'm going to use header of the structure to do proper mapping and later on upload data. So I put like customer name, date due, very specific because I don't want to pull all attributes. And then I run this, this query, and as a result, I have this structure. So my next step, I create upload template. And the way how I create upload template, I go to QuickBooks, I do upload accounting data to this is specifically my organization, and I create this template. I'm going to show you what I do next. So next, the key here in upload templates, create a mapping. So in this case, I create mapping by ourselves, but then I'm going to show you, we introduced upload templates library to help you out, again, to simplify the whole process. So in this specific template, you can see this is the QuickBooks attributes. It's kind of messy. It's a lot of data here. And what you can see from here is kind of informational table only. You can see some values. And these values here to show you those values expected to be as a value in your spreadsheet. So make sure you don't mess up. So if, for example, you have percent base, let's say tax code, right? QuickBooks accept only these two values, tax and non. If you put any random values, the API will kind of fail, but this is informational only. But the main piece of this mapping, this is on the bottom of your screen. So this, you can see column in the spreadsheet. That was the reason why I download data. So this is your headers, and this headers mapping to the QuickBooks field, okay? And what I'm going to do now, I prepare data. So I just copy a couple of my records, and I will put unique number. And what I'm going to do now, this is my invoice. I'm going to upload invoice, this multiple line items. This is what I'm going to do. So I will highlight the records just because I have a row selection mode as a selected rows, right? So eventually I would say everyone, when you try first interface, just try to create couple rows, right? Couple rows, you move to the QuickBooks or Xero. And then eventually you can set up all rows, and then we're talking about bulk. And then this process can be automated, right? For example, you prepare a bunch of your data during the day, and you automate the process, and 6 p.m. you run everything and you move data from Google Spreadsheet to Xero or QuickBooks. So for now, I got currently selected row, and I will execute this template. And what I'm going to show you, this is my first insertion of the data, but then I'm going to show you result. So what it does is create internal number for this specific inserted QuickBooks invoice. So now I click and I go to QuickBooks screen, and I'm going to show you this invoice. It's timeout, as usual. So I'm going, yeah. So now QuickBooks is up. I click, we call it deep link. So it will be easy for you to see what I did. So I create invoices as multiple line items. So now the question here, if during the year, so this is my new invoice and this is my line items. All right. Yeah. And is it the coming number? Yeah. So it's, yeah, it's new invoices. So now the question is, if you're going to clean up data, so now you have this ID, right, which is newly created, and then you're going to update any of the field names. It can be majority what we see from client perspective, descriptions, right? It can be descriptions of accounts, it can be descriptions of bills, line items. So all descriptions, it's a basic case. So you can now, you can update your description, modify what you want to see, and then create upload template and clean up data. So this is what we call clean up data. And by tax period, your data will be clean. And now again, this goes in bulk, right? So if I have here only like 10 records, now we're talking about 200 records. So you copy your data and then you upload data in bulk in a Google, in a QuickBooks or Xero. So this is very useful because I can see a lot of our customers use it. So this is another example I wanted to show you.
Yeah. So question on this, because I think this is where this question is coming from Chris. He said, yeah, does this work for complex journal entries across multiple dates?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the benefit, isn't it? That you can get the data into one single view, you can make the changes you need, yes, and re-upload, yes, it back up. And yes, and Andrea said, been looking at this method for staff cost allocation journals across profit centers, as our payroll integration can't do it. And actually I was asked that question.
Yeah. And now you kind of worry about not about how you look data, because if you go to QuickBooks, you can update everything there, right? But you will go one by one, right? Yeah. But here you can see multiple lines, you can see multiple updates. But if you do have, let's say, 2 entities, so you one template apply for one data set, right? So make sure you don't apply your template from one and another company at the same time. So I would say you create data set for one company in one tab, right? And apply the same template. And then you copy the template through cloud. We have ability to save template in cloud. So you save the same template and apply it to another set of data. So this is how it works.
Yeah. And certainly the ability to take line items and tracking category data is, yes, is where you've got the flexibility, isn't it? To really, yeah, kind of interrogate and as you say, tidy up this data. Excellent. So I'm conscious of time, and I know we wanted to talk about consolidation. So whilst we're in product here, Yelena, did you want to show us some stuff on consolidation? And more interesting, I think, for many might be the multi-currency stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So this new report, it was introduced only on Xero for now, but we're planning to promote the same changes in QuickBooks. But the idea is, if you do have multiple entities, so now you're able to consolidate it in one button click, pretty much. Before, you do have ability, you create, let's say, P&L or income statement, you create for multiple companies, but totals, you have to manually do it, right? But we will give you automation, we will give you refresh based on your schedules, but the consolidated itself, right, view, you need to count by yourself. So now everything is ready for you. So what we started this 3 main reports, which is what we feel is main. So it's a P&L or income statement, it's your cash summary and balance sheet. So this is what we have. I go to Xero because this is my Xero, and I will go to update, modify, delete template because I already set up template. So I will pull income statement. And what you have now, you have, the moment you come, you have to be connected at least to 2 Xero entities, right? Because you have to consolidate. So we test in our test environment, we tested up to 10, 12 organization, and it works fine. So I'm still excited to see if some numbers will not match. So now you have ability. For me, it's a demo company, AU entity, and some fake company doesn't have data at all. So currency, you have ability to add currency in your Xero level, right? When you go to Xero, you have settings, you add currency. This is how we pull the currency that you set up. And basically this feature should be enabled for you in order to convert your report in different currency. But first step, you set up organization and you pull organizations. So now we pull 3 organizations because it's available for you guys, but you can choose, right? But in my case, I told, okay, let's get 3 entities. The next step is select report. For me, as soon as I pull already existing templates, it's income statement, it's P&L report, and is, as you can see now, you have the same functionality, the same structure here. You have date range, which can be dynamically generated. You remember this piece, right? If you set up dynamic refresh, this month again will be, this month is a March, next April, May, it will be keep rolling, right? It's compared to 12 periods. So I want to kind of remind everyone, I can move to static date range and just update data in static view. So it means when I move to March, April, May, I'm still looking in February. And another feature, we still pull here custom date range. So custom date range will give you a little bit flexibility. For me now, I put income statement or P&L for 1 month range, right? But let's assume based on your business rules, right? You need 5 days or 10 days of range, right? And look what I'm going to do now. I'm going to show you very small trick. Some of you already know. So you can put any function. So you can put any function in your spreadsheet, right? Let's say it's February 23rd, right? And then put reference to this field. And you use reference, you pull this formula in your template. So this is how you do it. It's a small trick, but sometimes it's useful because we try to cover all scenarios, but obviously we might not have all of them available. So now, and the same you can do on start day and end day. You can create another formula, and you can say I will use formula in cell 1 plus 10 days, right? Okay, this is my end date. Right? And now it's give you flexibility and formula inside, and you will pull this formula, this data in your template. So this is how you create universal kind of solution to your date. So now we have cash transaction. Again, you can have accrual or cash, true, false. It's a regular interface for us. Compare this. So you have up to 2 years. You can do consolidation report up to 2 years. So now traditional and historical layout. So if I choose historical, you will see the set of raw data, right, which can be built again to dashboard. So even consolidation report can be in the dashboard. So we give you this opportunity and show today, today, yes and no, true, false. So now, as you remember, our regular settings here, change pool settings, this is how your data look like. So it's exactly what you can see when you generate your standard reports, financial reports, or custom reports, the same functionality. And the fun part is multi-currency. Yes. So this is absolutely new piece. I'm very excited. I want you guys to try and play around and see how it works. So what we have here, we hooked new service, which give us latest exchange rate. So basically, we give you today's date range and ability to convert report at any date you want. So it's you either use exchange date rate from our service provider, or you can use custom date range and select any date you want, or generate the, let me show you, generate the date range, generate the report. I'll go back. I'm going back to January. I'm going back to 12th, for example. I refresh it, and you can specify any date range you want. Any exchange rate you want, or you can generate the separate tab, which will give you exchange rate, and you can use it. So I'm going to show you. I want to do this. So I want to show you. Refresh.
And I'm assuming, Yelena, as well, you could use this to think about kind of forecasting and what if scenarios in terms of what happens if exchange rates do this in the future, if you're looking at forecasting.
Absolutely, you can do forecasting. So in this case, services will not go and provide exchange rate for the future date, right? Because they're not, but it will help you in historical, right? In historical, you can choose the rate, which is 1 year from now, and it's not like you type it. It was exactly how it was historically. So that's very cool too. So when I create from the Google spreadsheet, and you have ability to generate exchange rate, and this is how it looks like. So basically, you can see what historical date range. For me, I generated to February 1, and you can see this date. You can type any date here. You can type rate here, not the data, right? And you can generate your report based on this specific data. Or again, you can choose the latest exchange rate and generate report. So basically, this is nice feature what we introduced. And as a result, you can see this is your regular P&L. It's an income statement for me here. And you can see all traditional layout on the left side. And what we added organizations. So I do have a lot of data in a demo company, so you can see, but if I would have another company's data, you will see other companies' data, and you can differentiate, okay, this is purchases account for demo organization, ABC organization, and so on. So this is your consolidation report. So again, if you convert it to historical layout, you will see something like this. And again, it will be nice and fun to build some dashboards. So now you will have consolidation report in the dashboard. I didn't do that yet, but maybe somebody have a chance and be pioneer and build it.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Elena. So one other question that's come through. How does importing sales invoices in QBO work from Google Sheet? If the item's not been created in QBO in the first place, does this mean we have to create an item in QBO first? Because it's two-way, you can do either, can't you? So you can either pull the data and add items into the spreadsheet and upload and replace. You can do it either way. That's the answer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is answered. Yeah. And great. Why did I do download? Just for simplification. Why? Because I pull structure. But if you don't want to pull structure, you can type. You can type any headers you want and do proper mapping, but it will be a little bit manual process because our application help you to do this mapping. But it's like, can be free form and you can do mapping by yourself, and it can be free form headers.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed for that run through there, Elena. Very whistle-stop tour of just some of the functionality that you guys have got in place. I'm conscious of our times. If anybody does have any other questions, do pop those in. And whilst you're doing that, I shall just wrap up the formal part of this. So I always like to finish these sessions with some key takeaways. Here, G-Accon provides you a low-cost, efficient way to introduce reporting and dashboards to your clients. You've seen some examples there. I'm very sure that Yelena would be very happy to talk to anyone after the session and spend a bit more time responding to any specific challenges that you're trying to deal with that perhaps some of the other products out in the market don't quite let you do the way you want to. And that's the beauty of the ability you have to build varied and flexible solutions for your clients. We had a look at cleanups. I know that you talk to most people, what's the best feature of Xero? They'll say find and recode. This is another play on find and recode, tidy up that data efficiently in G Sheets, get it back into the software. And the new multi-currency stuff, as you saw from the demo there, if you have organizations that you're consolidating across multi-jurisdictions, that's got to save you some time. So thank you very much indeed for all of that, Yelena. Let's just make sure we've not got any other last minute questions come in here before we would it be possible to connect to other online solutions like QuickFile? Have you got that functionality in place?
Not yet.
But coming.
It's maybe, yes. So now we're wrapping up FreshBooks, but next step, never know. You have to think what will be the next. But the good thing I want to tell you guys, if you're comfortable with this one of our product, all this UI and functionality will automatically apply to other product. So you just change the source of your data, and that's it.
Yeah. Perfect. And a final question I'll take here from Andrew. Does the upload, so where you do that kind of data tidy up, does it override lock dates in Xero? So if somebody's put a lock date, does the API stop you uploading that data?
No.
No. So it would override the lock date.
Yeah.
So if somebody's locked down their Xero for a year end, so they've locked it down to 31st of March or a VAT quarter, and you make some changes to data,
it will override.
Try and upload
it will override. Yeah, it will override, because there is no, for us, as soon as we use API, there is no for us to stopping mechanism and said, okay, don't do it, right? Moment you invoke this API, this is how data works.
Yeah. Perfect. So we are at 2:45. So we will be sending a follow-up to everybody with a recording of today's session. So I hope it's been useful. Huge thanks to you, Yelena, for taking time out of your morning to spend an afternoon with us. So thank you for that, and for sharing some of that new functionality. And of course, thank you to everybody that took time out of their day to attend the session wherever you are, because clearly we've got people from various corners of the globe with us today. So thank you for that. Hope the session's been useful, and there's been some stuff there that you haven't seen before. Yelena, how do people get in contact with you if they've got any questions?
If they do have any questions, feel free to send us email at support@Jcon.services. And I want to thanks everyone to joining our webinar, and especially thank you for Will to having us.
Perfect.
So
we'll include contact.
Perfect work with you guys.
Yep, and we'll include some contact details in the follow-up email that we send. So thank you again for taking the time. We first did some stuff with G-Accon 18 months or so ago. We really like what they're doing, because it really does create an alternative solution for you compared to what else is in the market. So again, thank you. Hope you've had a useful session, and enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks very much indeed, Elena.
Thank you guys.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.